Hi there. I'm this is not like the other things. I'm very focused and I have one rather humble project. Um, and as background, I'm a graduate student in digital humanities working on a certificate at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I'm also an emeritus faculty member. I'm the previous business librarian at UNL, and I find digital humanities much more interesting than being the business librarian. Uh, During my career as a librarian, I discovered a collection of roughly 100,000 federal government technical reports which are effectively lost. Because there's no online intellectual access to them. They're not digitized, and the printed indexes are very difficult to search, even in PDF format. And, in this day and age, if it's not online searchable, nobody will bother with it. So this collection, it dates from 1946 to 1961. It's roughly 100,000 items. It covers a vast range of technical and scientific subjects, representing millions, billions probably, of dollars of federal R&D spending. And there's all sorts of stuff on the invention of radar, the weapons in World War II, the stuff we pillaged from from IG Farben and from other German organizations after World War II. There's stuff on Sputnik and the Van Allen radiation belt and stuff like that. It's really quite valuable stuff that ought to be digitized, but it hasn't been. And my first effort was to attempt to build a database of the lost technical reports using XML, entering the data by hand. And this worked. But it was too slow, and I wouldn't live long enough to finish it. So it worked. Here's a screenshot from my working file, and this represents two papers by Hans Bethe, who was a famous, eventually got a Nobel Prize, and he did this work for the RAD lab, that is the radiation laboratory at MIT, which was inventing modern radar. And the smartest people who were not working on the atomic bomb were working at the RAD lab. And it turns out that Bethe did work for both. And he got a Nobel Prize, as I say. He's a famous guy. And my current plan is to learn Python so that I can use the powerful text processing capabilities to parse the PDF version of the printed index to create a modern library database, which would be something like dissertation abstracts, something like that. And I would really like to fail. I hope that someone will realize how valuable this stuff is and digitize it, which would make an index superfluous, unimportant. And the lost technical reports are held by the Library of Congress. They're up in the old main building, up on the very top floor, just below the roof. And I've held them, I've looked at them. They're cool, they're not copyrighted. For the most part, they are regular, ordinary technical reports, which would be very simple to digitize. I mean, Google digitized, old crumbling stuff from 2 centuries ago, so they could handle this really easily. if there's anyone from Google here who has a poll, you know, I'd be happy to talk to you. And I am Bob Bolin, and that's my contact information. And if anybody contacts me, I'll send them this talk, and they'll have some links to an article I wrote about this, and they can see my my test database. So, thank you.